I will never understand why the death penalty and death sentences are not subject to public exhibition, where they are not made public, where people cannot see what is being done in their name, in their stead, on their behalf. Now, if something is going to have a deterrent effect, irrespective of what it is, it has to be known. It has to be seen. And there's also something wrong about a country that says, go ahead and execute people in my name, but we don't want to see it. I don't want to know how it's done. No. I want to know specifically how it's done. I want to know specifically what it looks like, what the last words were, because I'm signing off on this. I'm a part of this by virtue of my inclusion in the system. I want to know what's happening. I want to know what's going on. I want to be there, supposedly. So this should be televised. Should be mandatory. Kids shouldn't see it. But everybody else should see this. You know, one of the provisions of the Sixth Amendment is a right to a speedy and a public trial. And the reason why trials are to be public is we do not want them to be, in effect, star chamber, mysterious, kind of like that lunchroom justice, Ceausescu, and where they got him. We want you to see and be able to see what is happening. A public trial ensures due process, and it also allows people to be able to see what's being done in their stead, in their place. And the same thing should go with the death penalty. If we're going to stand behind it, then we should be forced, I say forced, to watch it, to see what is happening, to know what's going on. When something remains private, when something remains secret, when something remains away from the madding crowd, when it's sanitized and it's made to appear, clandestine and cryptic and occult, as in hidden. Now, whatever effects it's going to have theoretically on the part of a deterrence aspect is lost completely. And most importantly, if people are made to see what executions look like, the sound, the smell, the look, the sterile atmosphere, this clinical chamber of death, unless people are able to see this, unless people are made to watch specifically what is happening, we as a society lose. Now, I happen to be against the death penalty, but it is constitutionally provided for by virtue of the 5th and 14th Amendment, because the Constitution says specifically that life, liberty, and property cannot be deprived without due process, meaning you can kill, you can incarcerate indefinitely, and you can seize property so long as due process is afforded, so far as the procedure that is due is provided. The Constitution makes no problem. There's no confusion as to the validity of the death penalty. In fact, at the beginning of our Constitution, most of our country, most felonies, I believe, were death penalty-like. And again, whether people don't like it or not is a different story. My objection has nothing to do with the morality of it, but by virtue of the system and the way it is so unfairly meted out. That's a different story altogether. But irrespective of that, we as a society must know what things look like. And the same thing goes for people who say, oh, I believe in abortion. Really? Then you should see it. You should see what it is. See the process. You should see what a baby looks like. Now, I'm not suggesting a woman who has the procedure should be forced to hear a heartbeat or anything like that. But if you as a member of society say that, oh yes, I think that this is just a blastocyst, just some group of cells, fine. That's your opinion. You should see it. Same thing with war. You should see it. We live in a country right now where we're giving the Academy Award to some hocus pocus, phony baloney biopic on Robert Oppenheimer, which has as much to do with Robert Oppenheimer as I do. And we are celebrating a man who was responsible directly for the destruction of 200,000 people. It's hard to say, plus years and years of cancer and God knows the resulting aspects of this in terms of genetic problems and disfigurement and genetic chromosomal damage, etc., etc. We should see it. We can't live in a society where we're real tough when it comes to ordering things. We have to be familiar and conversant with the realities. That's why if you believe in the death penalty, it should be public. Should be available to be seen. Pay-per-view if you like, with the fun going to victims' families. But you should see it because it is being done in your name, in your stead. It is being done on your behalf. And if you don't like it, if you find it icky, if you find the subject matter problematic, then you should vote against the death penalty. You should also do the same thing for war and the like. I'm so sick and tired of a lot of big-mouthed Americans who claim to want something. Same thing for those who want to go to war. The Victoria Newlands and all these military-industrial complex war profiteers and neocons. I want to see their fat ass on the front line with a rifle. I want them to see what the realities of war are. That's what I want to see. As far as the death penalty goes, it should be public. What do you think, my friends? Do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos, and comment. Tell me what you think, and comment as you see fit.